Hi, welcome to video 7-3 of our Udemy series, How to Get Free Radio and PR. I'm going to give you another 11 tips on how to get great interviews and how to secure them in this video. We're starting with point number 23. 23 is use the news as your way of getting on the show. So this is a really good idea. If something happens in the news, say at the national level, call your stations, call the people that you have good contacts with and say, I would be a great guest to respond to what's happening in the news today. So say Congress does something that changes your industry or somehow impacts you. Call the station and say, I would be a great guest to comment on that news. A great way to get on the show. Remember, they need experts to comment all the time. They're looking for someone already. Go ahead and reach out and be the easy one for them to get on the show. Number 24. I love this one. Create ways to have holidays. And then create a holiday for your industry. Now, I know this sounds asinine, but you can do this. There are websites out there that allow you to name certain days as a holiday. So you could create National Balloon Day or National Nurse Day. You know what? There's probably already a National Nurse Day. So what you need to do is make sure that you know all of the great holidays, all of the days of the year that relate to your industry. Say you're a gardener and you want to sell your garden book. I bet you there's 10 days in the year that are somehow official days of gardening. As a matter of fact, I happen to know that there's an official day of the Petunia Day. Well, that's a great opportunity for you to get your gardening show out there. Call the host, call the producer, send them an email saying, did you know that June 22nd is National Balloon Day? Well, I happen to have a great tie-in for that, something that makes it interesting. You'll get on the air for that. Again, they're looking for unique reasons, unique things, unique topics. That's one of them. And remember, you can create your own holiday in advance and then go out there and talk about it. It's unbelievable. That's the way to do it. All right, point number 25. Use local tie-ins to get you on the shows. So we already talked about using big national news, but also the local news is just as important. You know, radio shows would rather talk about local news than national news. They can hear the national news on CNN or wherever, but local news is the bedrock of a radio station. So pay attention to the local news. Some farmer around the corner just did something, invented a new crop or something. Get on the show and talk about that and how it relates to your business. You're doing an event coming up soon that's for free for all of the local people. You're going to have a great class on military history at the college. You know, that's news. They might give you 10 minutes. They might only give you 2 minutes. But call the local stations and say, hey, we're doing something over at the college. Would you like to report on it? They might not know about it. They might put you on the air and it might fill up the room. So a good technique. Use the local news also. Number 26. You know, when you're on a local show, you want to sound local, right? If you get on the Howard Stern show, you need to sound like a jerk, right? That's just what the audience is expecting. If you're on a small rural show in the South, you want to sound a little bit Southern. Now, I don't want you to create a fake, silly, accent or anything like that. But I live in the South. I know that if I'm doing a radio interview in the South, I will say the word y'all. Now, I know those of you in the North don't have any idea what y'all means. It means you all. It's a great Southern word. But I'm not going to use that word if I'm being interviewed in Boston. It just doesn't sound right. Remember, where you are makes a difference. And so you want to pay attention to that and sound like your audience, sound like your host. You should know about them. You should try to be like them as much as possible. Number 27, you need to know the host and you need to know information about them. It's not enough just to say their name. And one of the tricks I'm going to tell you when we teach you how to do a great interview is to use the host name at least once a minute. Once a minute, you should say something like, well, you know, Phil, that's an interesting point, and then blah, blah, blah. That's important. Let's take it a step further. I want you to know what book Phil himself published. I want you to know where Phil works so that halfway through the interview, you can do something like, Well, Phil, I remember when your book came out a year ago. Boom, that's gold right there. Phil loves the fact that you're promoting his book. Phil loves the fact that you know who he is. Phil's going to invite you back, I promise. These are the sort of things that take you from a B- level interviewee to an A+ level guest. Use their name, use it once a minute, but more than that, know something about them. Know who they had last week. Well, I remember when you had Patty Sue on the show last week and she said this. Nothing is better than that. That's the best radio that you can do. Number 28. If there is breaking news, if something is happening right now, there's a fire in downtown, the governor just got indicted, one of the mayors is just resigning, that is the best opportunity for you to get on the news right then. Email and call immediately and say, I have something to add to this. I can help you with this. I remember the mayor when he was 5, and I'm going to talk about what a great person he is. Whatever it is, do something to connect yourself with local breaking news. Pay attention to it. A great thing to do if you're trying to get on a show is to follow the Twitter feed of that particular show or that radio station. Start responding to it. Start being part of that conversation on a local daily basis, and you'll get on the show. It shows that you are caring, and that's what they want. Number 30. When you email or call somebody, let them know immediately that this is a show idea. Remember when I was telling you my perfect pitch, I said my perfect pitch starts with McGraw-Hill author. You know, you could have improved that pitch perhaps by having the first 2 or 3 words say something like guest show idea or great show idea or something like that to let the producer know what this email is about. Think about it. How many emails does a producer get from the show? Probably hundreds. Hundreds of listeners are going to write in saying, I didn't like this segment, or that was funny, or you shouldn't have said this. Let the producer know that you're not in that category, that you're in the serious category, not just a cranky listener, but a great potential guest. Number 31. Remember we talked about attachments. What are you going to attach to your email? This is important. Half of the shows are going to not accept your email if there's an attachment. They don't want viruses, and the way they prevent it is just not accepting emails that have an attachment. This is critical. You need to pay attention. If you don't get a response from a radio show, try a different email without the attachment this time. Or if you sent the emails with no attachment, try it with the attachment next time. The attachment, it might seem like a small thing, but you're going to learn it's absolutely critical. And you need to play around with it. Try it both methods to see which one gets you the best results for your intended target audience. 32, point number 32. This is a great one. Send them a video of you giving a talk. If you were on a radio show, record 5 or 6 minutes of the interview with your iPhone, and then make that into a YouTube video and send that link to producers. It says, wow, look how good he is. Look how well he did on this show. So whenever I get on a great show, have a really good hit, I try to let all of the other hosts know about it. So about a month ago, I was actually interviewed by the New York Times small business writer, Melinda Emerson. As soon as that went live, I emailed everyone I could think of saying, hey, the New York Times just interviewed me. Certainly you would like to interview me. And I included a video of me and Melinda talking. And it got lots and lots of views. And I got some good links out of it. Use your past successes as a video as a way of creating new successes for the future. Number 33, another voicemail tip. After you've left a voicemail, give the host or the producer 2 days to respond before you call again. In this world, we're not allowed to call every day. We don't call 5 times a day. We call once every 2 days. Any more than that, you're called annoying. So our most best practice is you're allowed to call a producer once every 2 days, but not anymore. All right, that's the end of this section. I'll be back in the next video with our final 11 tips for how to secure great interviews. I'll be right back. Thanks.